It's just gone 12 o'clock here. I'm in Bonnie Lambroyd, Scotland, and I have now submitted my request to Douglas Ross, be it a Conservatives online page. I've just asked, could they forward the video that I produced to him? And the gist of the video is, if some of you haven't seen it, I'm requesting that my decision made by the Pips to refuse me a mobility allowance needs to be reviewed. And I've substantiated this with medical evidence. Well, simply put, I've had a blood clot for over 2 years, and that surprised me. He's bugging me a bit. Because Facebook recently sent me a video I'd made, and you got me watch your dates, because you might not realise it was made a year ago. And in this video, I'm saying I've just come from an ultrascan, blah, 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 mention about going into hospital. But more importantly, this video was made a year ago, right? But then the February before it, because that's where I get this 2 years from, right? It was mentioning, well, it's the same blood clot. So I've already been tested for a blood clot, then have another test a year ago, right? And the blood clot's still there. I also mentioned I've been hospitalised, and it's obviously quite a major thing. Doctor comes to my home because I'm in a lot of pain and the leg's swollen, gets out a tape measure, and compares the two legs and decides, and then, no, you've got to go into hospital, Clark. Can you pack a bag, just bring a couple of nightgowns or whatever, and that was it. So I locked my house, ambulance come, and I was taken into hospital. And then what eventuates from that, like I said, I was put on a drip for antibiotics. In fact, I think moved in the spirit, I even suggested that to the doctor. They're coming round, lots of weird things going on. He had a felt tip. And he said, do you mind? I said, no. So to make it easier for them, and he had students, they'd been their case students around, and it was one of these sort of rounds. And he said, do you mind? I said, no, and he drew with a blue felt tip round the red swelling. So that when they come the next day, which they were, for an instant case, and they could see how effective the drip was working, because the red swelling did go down. But I don't know, but just moving in the spirit, I don't think that's such a normal procedure. And then we can get a bit sarky. Generally, people with my sorts of conditions, it's nipped in the bud. Get it? It was left to get to extreme circumstances. And yes, I can get a bit welly now. Blood clots are life-threatening. And if you haven't been administered blood thinners and all that, it's a very simple matter. And the blood clot going into your brain, you're dog meat, you're dead. So that is, and that will all come out if this does go to court. That is the basic substance of my case. But I haven't just got a proven blood clot for nearly 2 years, and that's, but I've also got a heart condition, atrial fibrillation. And this has been substantiated by tests. I've got a clear flutter in my heart. Now, I experienced this. I couldn't even walk up the incline at Elgin Library, if some of you know Elgin Library. It's not a big... That's what surprised me. Coming down the normal flat path, coming up to the entrance of the library, and I mean a slight incline or upcline, get it? And I was breathless. And so you do, excuse me, fuck me, I better go and see the doctor. Something ain't quite right. And it wasn't right. And then the doctor said, well, here's this, whatever drug it is, right? But to avoid taking stairs. Yeah. And if anyone knows Elgin Library, there is a staircase. And had I continued using that, well, I wouldn't probably be here. Get it again, because it would induce a heart attack. So I methodically used the lift. Now, I've had this situation for years. And I've got a list, I'm not joking, that long of all the times the drugs have been put on, the tests I've had, and whatever, and how I had and still have, although it's gone down a bit, weeping ulcers on my leg. I mean, you'd have to be, excuse me, cunt idiot not to be able to diagnose that. Right. Now, the only thing I can say in defence of this panel, although it isn't really when you think about it, I didn't manage to appear at the Freudian slip, hearing, because I was so ill. I was so ill with this leg that someone had just had to bump into me and I'd be in excruciating pain. So now I didn't want to get on a bus, get it to go to Inverness, and know whatever walking distance from the bus stop, whatever, again was a big deal. So I did think rather naively, oh, well, I've got this one, this is a piece of piss. It's rock solid. There's evidence, and I've had this condition 2 years. No, I don't think I do want to risk going all the way to Inverness to go to a tribunal hearing. I trusted that the people would do their job, right? Even though the person, bless him, in the citizen's advice who helped me fill in my appeal, right, said, oh, no, you should go. Are you going? And sort of, oh, you should go. I said, well, I don't know, really. 6 of one and 7 of the other, see how I feel. But then he insisted again, oh, no, go, Mr. Clark. Now, what does that tell you? That the people that deal with people like me are well aware of the statistics of how you're likely to get I can use the word fairly treated and awarded the benefits that you should be if you don't turn up. Get it? They're less likely to look you in the eye, get it? And in their summary say, well, we're only going to give you 12 points or something like whatever. It's 2 points under. And here's another issue, just to put you in the picture. Because I was 2 points under the point system, instead of getting the £60 a week, which is the full mobility allowance, which will enable you to get a car, and all the rest, you get 20 quid a week. Excuse my French, that's a fucking big difference. You get me? So for 2 points short, you only get 20 quid a week. Oh yeah, this whole thing, pips, whatever, needs fucking looking at. Excuse my French. Yeah. So I am going to say again to you, Mr. Ross, this isn't just me and my decision that needs to be reversed. The whole thing is fucked. And there are hundreds, if not thousands of people who have been fucked over by this PIPS thing. I do suspect, as many other people do, that there's backhanders involved, meaning whatever percentage of people they manage to fob off, steal, rob them of their benefits, there's some kind of financial remuneration. Right. Well, that is a serious accusation But I'm not the only one that feels that. And it wouldn't take much of some inquiry, would it? Because the other trip, right, is that the only people that seem to get awarded this mobility, I can say the only, or the majority of people, whatever concept you want to use, are married couples. And you see them. I've seen them go to the Elgin Library, and I'm plodding along with a blood clot on my stick, getting into the library, and there's a car parking area for disabled people. Very rare, and they get there, and they're generally couples, and they've got a nice car, of course, right? But they're far more healthier than me. Oh yeah, I know. I've only got one speed, and that's slow. Yes, slow. These people can get out of a car, they can zoom past me, get it. Don't have a walking frame, might have a stick. But there's a big difference between someone who has got to take it really slow, get it, to someone who can get out of the car, bang the door, come on, love, and zip in. Yes, it is nasty. You could think, well, come on, Graham, you don't honestly, seriously think that all the people that get this benefit are reassessed or it's looked at? Well, yeah, I do feel it's looked at. I do feel that whoever these people are that have successfully achieved to get this mobility allowance, it needs to be noted. Well, what are their medical conditions? Or another way, twisting it around, what are the medical conditions that do allow people to get mobility allowance? It's a double-edged sword. Both ways are both appropriate. And then if it's found out, which it will be, well, again, you see, that isn't going to be, well, it is going to help me that many people that are couples get it, have been awarded mobility allowance, and don't have such a serious diagnosis as a blood clot. Get it? Whatever they have, pain in the leg, fucking whatever. Oh, yeah, arthritis, all this shit, which is shit, but not shit, you follow me? But yeah, have all these other conditions. But quite frankly, yeah, people with arthritis can still walk pretty fast. Well, I know. Yeah. So this is just another backup, which I know where to send. This will be sent to Conservatives Online. It's just putting in a few things that perhaps weren't put into the original one. And because of that, hi, Mahatma Merlin, right? I don't feel I go into spiritual things because I'm actually a lay Baptist priest, and I do these videos, and it's a form of what people call a channeling. So it's guided by the Spirit. And again, this is lay Baptist stuff. This isn't new agey shit. This is right out of the Bible. Well, yeah, there you go. There I'm being right. I've had what's called ministry of ministries. And this is like an authentication, that's the wrong word, but basically, all right, the witness of the brethren, which is your fellow church members, that you have and possibly can, because that's where prophecy comes in, these possible ministries. And it's basically an equipping for service. Just like the ancient kings, you have hands laid on your head and you are anointed for service. Exactly the same ritual. So there's a meeting, and anybody can share in this meeting what they feel you've moved in, can bring a prophetic word, get it, what they feel you might move in, and then the elders summarize it. So some people can go a bit over the top, and whatever, and some things can be left out, and the elders will put their 2 penny worth in, Then when that is done, Generally about an hour or so. It's it's a whole meeting. Hands are laid on you. And depending how many people are it's done in the baptismal in Bug Book, the original church where the Jesus Fellowship Church was started from. It was just a conventional, well, still is, Baptist church with a baptismal in it. Get it? That's its design. So it's like people are sat round the baptismal area. But if the baptismal pond or whatever isn't used, there's just floorboards put over it, right? But it is also the place, it's a very special place, so it's where people are baptized. And generally, I'll just go to the end, and at the end, the elders say, right, everyone draw close. I know what's about to happen, because he's basically summarising it. Here, summarise then. Yeah, and he will just repeat what other people have said, but it's being authenticated, and sometimes might add a bit that hasn't been put in, and also miss out what was perhaps a bit over the top. So they are summarising. Then all the brethren are called forward, and they bless you. Now, of course, 200 people can't all stick their hands on you. But what generally happens is they put their hands on the person in front of them, and that's it. And the anointing and the blessing is carried through. Basically, they're all touching into me, and I am touching into them. For those who are into empathy, that's a new way of looking at it, you see. Think that through. So you're a very anointed, special person. As the kings were, chosen by God. And then anyone that touches you to supposedly, well, they are passing on an anointing to you. Well, it's 6 or 7 and 8 of the other. There's just as much anointing, get it going out from me to them. Two-way trip. Right. When Jesus was ministering, there's often cases of people, and through their faith, just touched his robe. He was busy, he was doing something, and well, that's how he summarised it. By your faith be it so. But the analogy there is that someone just needs to touch someone like that. Have the faith that something will happen, and it will happen, and does happen. So there is some science behind all this, holy people and the Pope and all this shit, right? There is some science behind it. But if that person isn't, as an example, a real minister of the light, an instrument of darkness, whatever label you want to put on it, I would say the percentage of miracles that happen by touching someone like that, as an example, are pretty low. Get it? And you could argue it's just the person's faith, psychosomatic. I touched the Pope. I'm going to be healed. Get it? Yeah. So I might add 55 or 60, whatever percent of healing is on that basis. By your faith be it so. So we are all potential instruments of God, as Jesus taught us. We're all potentially sons of God, get it? And so if someone comes to you and believes you are a very special instrument of God, get it? They just nearly touch you, and by their faith it will be so. This is a Mickey Mouse trip. That is the reality. We all potentially can heal and do miracles. But it's potential, there's your bit. God's in charge, and no, you can't get a load of false prophets, get it, and people like that doing it. Although they'll say it's the powers of Satan, in a sense it is. But they get exposed. You can't keep healing people of cancer, get it, until eventually that runs out. They get caught out. Classic example. Powers of darkness want to degenerate a healer, someone who moves in miracles, right? So they set him up. We saw it in our church. Someone would come in amongst the congregation, have a healing given them in faith, right? Or, the guy's just doing his job, and claim he got cancer. Again, publicity and all things. And then it became revealed he never had cancer. But he'd announced to the church, I've been healed of cancer. And of course, it's a bit of a publicity thing. But that's why he was doing it. And of course, you could say, well, it looked bad on the healer. He was done. Well, he wasn't. Well, he didn't. No, actually, I'm talking crap. No, in a case like that, no, it's not. It's a case the person didn't have cancer anyway. And all he's doing is responding in prayer and trying to give him some healing. So there was no healing needed in a sense because he didn't actually have cancer. So that's bollocks. We all make mistakes. Right, yeah. And this happened within the church. The Jesus Fellowship Church got a reputation that you can go to a meeting and you will get healing given you. It's just part of the service. And the minister who led the meeting, moving in the spirit, would call people forward. It wasn't also the same thing, or it could be for anything. Get it? Anybody now wants to receive a healing anointing? You could say certain things. Again, it's open-ended. Come forward. And of course, all the priests that are part of the church and are trained for this, it's like their training ground. So there'd be these people who've just been drawn into the meeting, get it, who weren't actually members, but they've been given an opportunity to receive healing. And again, there's no big thing. You just I say, all folk, you're asked to come forward, or Dana, put your hand up, come. And then the members of the church will go and give these people healing. That is it, part of the thing. And everyone knew, well, it's a word on the street. Yeah, well, you've got whatever, they might have some nasty condition, and they'd be sure, no, don't worry, you won't be asked what it is. You could be asked, but you can just decline because it's embarrassing. Oh, my penis is, I'm being humorous deliberately, my penis is falling off. Get it? Some gonorrhea, just to make the point, right? And then you'd be given healing. But upon that person's faith, they would receive, here's where counselling comes in. You're giving someone healing and you're given a word. They don't have to tell you, as an example, what's your sex life? Just that open-ended. And we're not getting into something, it's nothing to do with being gay, but there are lots of sexual transgressions. The most basic one is you're a married man, you're having sex outside of marriage, as an example. It's got nothing to do with you're gay and all that. That can come into it, because again, if your life is totally obsessed with having sex and it's your way of assessing yourself, probably say, all right, you're Jack the Lad. You think you're really it because you fuck 5 women a week. This sort of trip, you've got no real meaningful relationship. You're Jack the Lad, and you go down the disco and you successfully manage to pick up a woman, and that sort of trip. And that's that's your sex life. Oh yeah, right. And then the priest will ask, what is your sex life? And they would respond of, well, how do they respond? Very happy, thank you very much. I might get a bit paranoid, but no, I see. But then you in the spirit would move. I see, so you just say how many women are you having sex with. And if it's a big ego thing, and they don't think it's a sin, oh, I have sex, about 5 women a week, on average, then the minister or the person giving the healing would say, well, I think you need to look at that. Yeah. This over, well, yeah, your sex life needs to be modified. And I think it'd be better for you that you do just find one partner. I mean, you have to get married, but just it's more in that level rather than going out every weekend to find someone else to fuck and you just drop it. That's what happens. One night stand or 2 weeks time, and then they're, you know, sorry, love, don't want to see you again. This sort of shit. And that's wrong, obviously, is. But you know, the woman's entered into a meaningful relationship, but the man is just using her for sex, and he will terminate it because he can see possibly where it's going. You know, the woman starts talking about things that, you know, I'm losing the plot a bit. No, you're not. You can pick this up very quickly with someone. Yeah, I'm not talking shit. You can suss that this person hasn't got any long-term plans for me, isn't sussing me out, get it as a potential marital partner. I mean, that's okay. Again, see what I'm saying? There is a lot, you know, lines. That's all right. And then say 2 months down the road, you can both, or, you know, do say, well, no, I don't want to carry on with that. That isn't wrong. I mean, it's not brilliant, it's not wrong. But if someone is deliberately just going out and having very loose and casual sexual relations, has no intention of finding a meaningful relationship, basically. Yeah, we can use that then to conceptualize it. You might have to put them straight about that. And they can tell you to fuck off, get it? I mean, it's a counselling. Well, actually, I feel your loose sex life, however you word it right, is a major factor to you not being healed. It's a karmic injunction. Now, again, they can tell the fuck up, right? That's their choice, right? But if they've got something fairly serious, yeah, cancer, get it, you know, not. I think they're going to think twice and 3 times about that. And God, in his or her, I'm being told that mercy, will give you a definite demonstration that's a fact. I.e., you leave the church meeting and then a day later you meet someone in the pub and they start reading the riot act to you. They're a friend, get it? Well, that's it. Oh, you went to church to get some healing. What happened? And the guy would come away, well, it's all a load of bollocks. He said I had to alter my sex life and, you know, straighten my life out a bit. And then the fucking friend turns around and says, well, yeah, you fucking do. I've never told you this before because you're my friend. Get it? But I'd agree with that. You do need to look at it. Get it? Now, that'll have a bit of a jolt. Get it? And then the person, again, his son, comes back to another meeting. And this time he's of a sincere heart. I will try. That's good enough. I will sincerely try and temper my sexual activities, meaning I won't go out and just pick women up for a one night stand. And I'm sincere that I'd like to receive healing. But again, nothing's guaranteed, but they're moving in the right direction. Right? And they understand then through selling the concepts to do with karma. Now that's a whole lifetime study in itself. Everything that you have or is happening in your life, you have been instrumental in it happening. As part of your healing journey is to realise, well, I've actually caused this. It's not God, it's not that, it's not, you know, I have instigated this. So you are actually what's called taking responsibility for your life. Okay, I've got this medical condition that's a pain in the arse, but I actually karmically have caused this to take place. And that could be considered for many a major turning point in their life. And then from that point onward, and through prayer and ministry, they will be totally transformed. Oh, I've got a mouse. Yeah, can you hear? They're that, yeah, here you go. They're that tame. They know I'm not going to hurt them. Oh no, normal mouse. It's daytime. No, I'm doing the trip on you. It's daytime, lights on, I'm doing this. And he's just here. Right by my side, scratching about a bit of cardboard. Well, you'll know when I've had it. I've been in here and I was a bit depressed. And I'm just, telly's off, get it? And I'm just, right? And a little mouse comes out and looks me straight in the eye, no fear. And I look at it for about 5 or 10 minutes. It knows I'm not going to do it, but you could say the mouse senses I'm sad. It's hard. Yeah. Anyone will tell you, cats, any animal like that knows if you're in an emotional state of distress. Dog, for instance, just come up and put his head on your lap. Similar to a cat, they'd just come up and cuddle up. I know. But that extends to so-called wild animals. That mice or mice are my pets. Yeah, I need them now. I feed them. I deliberately put out bits of bread. They don't touch my food, get it? But there's bread put out for them rare. And the most I'd ever do is trap them live. But I ain't got a car. I've done that. You get a live mouse trap and trap them and then release them somewhere. I ain't got a car and coming back. Yeah. So I'm not overrun with mice. But I do think now at 12 o'clock midday with electric light on and me talking, that purely demonstrates that there's a lack of fear. Normally mice hide away and just come out at night. My mice, well, I'm calling them my mice, no, they're here during the day. I can hear them now. Yeah, he's just scuttling in the, I've got all these, it's perfect nests of them. Got all these piles there of cardboard. The room it's just all, whatever. When I get my car, it might not be a Jaguar. That's what I said, you see. And there's logic to it. Well, there's no point what are you going to do with it? But once I get a car, it'll be broken down and taken down the tip. Right. That's a classic Tibetan Buddhist thing, actually, clapping of hands. The car. That's what this is all about. Yeah, we go right round the circle. My application to Douglas Ross, and this would be a second application, or I've gone off into a teaching ministry, well, I'm sure they can put that aside. Oh, that's just part of my lay Baptist priest role. And so you're getting a bit more for your money. And it's 34 minutes, right? But yes, I do wish to instigate an action against the people that made the decision. And there'll be a doctor and two thing, because I think they are cosmically a bunch of fucking idiots and need striking off. When you see the evidence I've talked about, it's very blatant and it's very obvious that they haven't done their job fairly. And that there you go. Because I didn't turn up, their attitude was, oh, if he can't even be bothered to come here, he's not going to be that upset if we say fuck off and no. However, but you could rationalise that a bit. Oh, but if he's bothered to come here and we could ask him questions, get it, or challenge the thing, which I suppose they can do, the decision wasn't awarded in my favour. So it is 12 o'clock. It's actually 12:30. I'm just without my glasses. It's not a long one. Yeah, 35 minutes. So I'm going to finish this, and this will be posted again for the attention of Douglas Ross via, there's a thing just called Conservative Online. So this is the second follow-up. And, well, I'll give it as if it's a thing. I got lost. My national insurance number is YT198522D. My address and that is Graham Clark, 6 St Andrews Road, Lambride, IV 308NZ. I happen to know you. I've now found a bit. You only live in Forest, so it's not much of a hassle for, to contact us and whatever. I know you're busy, like all you people are rare. Email Gamper, I'll spell that GHAMPA, Gamper, 77 at gmail.com. And I will give a phone number. I get a lot of paranoid people. I assure you, anybody rings me, suss you out like shit, because I don't use the phone much. So generally a waste wind-up thing, it's the number's withheld. Straight away, I've got that sort of sophisticated phone, and I can just press a button. Blocked. Don't even hear a word. No, you don't even have the pleasure of that. Boom. The logic behind that is, well, I suggest you don't withhold your number. Right? I mean, they can get a mobile phone, but if they've done the same trip, I see it stinks, doesn't it? Well, why are they withholding their number? So with my phone, I can just press a button and you're blocked. So if you are trying to give me a wind up, you've got to get another phone. Yeah. But genuine people to get through. And if I'm busy, there is an answer service on the phone. So you know what to do. Just leave your phone number or so we'll ring back. Yeah. Phone number 01343 842-567. You've got my email, you've got my national insurance number. Again, I've already done it, I'll do it again. This case was taken up by Citizens Advice, so there will be a complete record of what was sent to them. Get it? How the form was filled in, and then that's all evidential. And then the issue here is, because I know he said, oh, there's guidelines and you've appealed already. I may have. But the issues I'm talking about are not just my own personal case. So this does legitimise some kind of inquiry. And again, I reiterate, I am asking you to provide me with the details of who actually sat on that panel. And then it's up to me. If I don't get the satisfaction from you, and if you hypothetically don't take it up, but you provide me with that information, then I will be out on the streets with placards, and there'll be a few people that follow me, right? And the publicity generated will get what I want to be awarded, of course, because that's what I tell the papers. Yeah, I applied for this mobility allowance, blah, 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 got this condition, that, because it's all open. It's the medical record, rare, and they somehow refuse me. Rare. We on the street believe that a lot of people who are getting this mobility allowance are married, and that there's some definite discrimination against a single person and a married person. Rare. You see, another issue for the papers looking, because they can get all the statistics. And that'll be it, the papers, that's their job. Well, Hello, we're Walla Walla the motherfucks from the Northern Scot. Oh yeah, rare. We're doing a story about this. Rare. Can you give us the statistics, please, of how many people are successfully awarded mobility allowance in Murray? And that can be even population-wise, whatever. And more importantly, yes, we realise of confidentiality, rare, but can you give us a list or information pertaining to what conditions are granted mobility allowance? I can go on and on and on. But the papers can and will be able to get access to some money. Now, there could be a stumbling block with the doctor, but I assure you, if I start to demonstrate, excuse me, cosmic humour, some cunt is going to come to me and say, look, I know that this person is. They could just be a clerk, get it? Oh, I know it was, yeah. And I think he's a bit of a cunt. Oh, yeah. There would be that general feeling, or cuntess then, right? And I just need the name. Then I go in good faith, I've got a big man, and do start placards and things. That person's got to take me to court. We should be playing right into my hands. They can kiss goodbye. No, you see what I mean? They can kiss goodbye to being a doctor. I think they would get back to the council, to the PIPS people, to the government department, whatever it is, and say, look, can we settle out of court, please, or I'm likely to lose my job? Whatever. And then I'm happy with that. See, I'm not on a big vengeance thing. I mean, he's just a cunt, or she is a cunt idiot. That's up to me if I put that out. I wouldn't have that bitch fucking have anything to do with your medical care or whatever. And that's my privilege and right. And again, he or he can take me to court for slander. But all I want is my mobility allowance, and possibly some of it backdated. Again, it's just the laws, isn't it? If they put all these laws in place, yeah, which we all know they do, right? I'm afraid you can only claim a maximum of 3 months back payment, Mr. Parr. Yeah, whatever. I'm not going to bother contest that. But I do want my mobility allowance so I can get a car. It might not be a Jaguar. That's fucking madness. See, this is it. I'm being told, Graham, politicians don't. Well, then, it's just a bit of humour. The message is I have been wrongly treated, and I am substantiating that by the citizens' advice. You have my national insurance number. I've said you can access my medical files. I might have to authorise that with some kind of written statement, but that's on the cards, yes. And you can go to other doctor authorities. Well, what does atrial fibrillation mean, and what about blood clots? Yeah, because they'd be there. Oh, yes, I mean, there's blood clots, and they will be able to read the results from the tests and will be able to assess, well, he's not lying. Yeah, his legs, have been swollen as fuck, because they measure the pressure between the two sides of the body. And then there's the actual case in the hospital. Oh, I don't know, bit of dubious. At one time I asked, yes, probably coincidental, but one time I went in and asked, could I have the report that was conducted whilst I was in hospital? No, it's just an overseer, and somehow I couldn't find it. So I didn't carry on. Oh, yeah. But I was in hospital, and I can even name people who saw me in hospital. A load of people from Pindon Foundation. I couldn't tell you the doctors. You might have been introduced. Oh, yeah, a whole load of different doctors. Because they use it as a training thing, you see. So they traipse around, like you see on the movie and the thing. And doctor will do his rounds. And you have a whole troop of people who are well, wanting to learn, they can just be assistants, but they're a whole troop of people. They just go round and they only pick out the interesting cases. So I was picked out. Oh, yeah, and they come in and go, oh, yeah, well, this is Mr. Clark. Yes, he's bored, right? And told you the funny bit, oh, yeah, someone got a felt tip, and he asked me, I told you all that, right? I told you about the woman. I only had one of these stupid gown things on, right? Yeah, didn't fit me properly. I'm a big bloke. But she, again, being a good nurse, get it? She's not worried about seeing someone's penis, for God's sake. Well, if she is, she shouldn't be nursing, get it? So it was, but it was an accidental slip. And I think a couple of other women giggled, right? Because didn't know, oh no, he ain't got any pants, right? But a bit late then, isn't it? Oh, well, I won't do, because basically she offered to put this wax sort of stuff, which is good for your legs. And we could see she happened to like doing it. She goes, all this business, right? She's doing it all professional because she does that. She is an assistant within the foundation. And she actually pushes people around who are old on wheelchairs. That's her trip. One of them is she likes nursing people in. And they're generally people who are old and need to be pushed around, right? And I know her. Oh, every time I've gone to the foundation years back, but if I see her, I'd say hello. You get me? Hi, how you doing? And she would smile and say, but in other words, yeah, she was special in my heart. Probably couldn't even tell you her name. There you go. But she stood out as being a genuine, minister of the spirit, call it what you will. And she happened to come when I was hospitalised. I'm not saying it was just because of me, but she's learning, you get it? She was at a deal with the hospital, would go round on rounds to learn, get it? And she probably was, I don't know, but yeah, she was part of the team that went round on rounds. And I recognised her. And she did bring in some leg balm, gave it as well, It was a gift, she brought it in because I didn't have any. But then she had the thing of, oh, would you like me to put some on? Because the leg, I said, oh, yeah, sure, And she does all this business. So it's brilliant, Anyway, I'm waffling. But yes, there'll be plenty of people that can substantiate when I was in hospital. And I was probably getting a bit paranoid. It's just coincidental that the time I did go in, they couldn't, mummy, that's it, just couldn't be bothered. See what I mean? They say, I can't find it, Mr. Clark, because they couldn't be fucking right. But it is there. And there will be records, because I know my doctor, when I had this fucking big print out, this because he knew I was going to this hearing, so he sussed it all out, put it on his computer, and he got a complete printout of every major appointment I'd had, the tests I'd had, and it went back years. Yeah. Just to put the boot in, but this is all ignored. It wasn't even looked at. And we can analyse that. Wasn't so much it wasn't looked at, but they had again a policy. Well, if you can't be fucking bothered to come to the hearing, fuck him. Now that's wrong. Oh, well, that's all right. We can tell him to fuck off, refuse him. And that's me, he's got to go through all the shit of going through tribunals and fucking, and a lot of people just give up. And they could stretch it out, get it. I reiterate, my DLA took 2.5 years. Just people fobbing it off, a new hearing, and then eventually it was dramatic. The doctor wrote a letter. I don't know, I've done this. I don't know who the doctor was that examined my patient, Mr. Clark, but I've been Mr. Clark's doctor for quite a few years, such and such years, and how he or she can assess in 20 minutes, because that's about what you have, his accurate state of health or, is beyond me. So basically she's saying whoever had made the assessment was full of shit and that she'd be prepared to take it further, that she wasn't going to accept this doctor's conclusion that I wasn't entitled to DNA. And it's the same analogy with this. Well, maybe I haven't. Actually, it is. I've got to admit, well, I'm on a low wicket there. I don't bother the doctors. Get it? They haven't seen me for months and months. And the doctor I did have has just recently retired. So it's up to the integrity of the doctors, really. You know, they are approached. And they might say, well, I haven't seen Mr. Clark generally about every 9 months. You get me? There's not a close relationship here, rare, but that's actually in my favour. Well, Mr. Clark's come with his bad leg and we've done all we can do. And we put him on certain drugs. And that's that, apart from chopping his leg off, you know what I mean? But didn't quite, you know what I'm saying? That's it. They've done all they can do. Oh, I'm getting out of here. Is that someone trying to? No. Bye for now. And you've got my contact information, you've got my email, and I hope someone does get back to me soon because I really do need a car. Thank you very much.